Okay. Okay, so like I said, we've got our images, backups, just in case I forget something. So to start, what we're gonna do is right click in our main folder, say new text. We're gonna call it test.html. It's sometimes easier to edit if you leave it a txt, but for the technically correct way is to do it like that. It's going to ask you, do you want to change it? You say yes. Then the second thing you're going to need is another text document that we are going to call test color dot css. And again, we want to change that to that format. Now, if you were to double click this or open your browser, at the moment there's not going to be anything. So what we're going to do is right click, say open with notepad, make it big. Okay, so you've got your empty notepad over here. Let me just check my crypt notes here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is tell when the browser opens this thing what it is busy reading. So that is what your doc type is. It tells the server, hey, you're busy reading. What are we reading? An HTML. And close that. Then what we're going to tell it is the HTML that it's reading. Lang tells it, hey, this page is in English. So then if you wanted, a website with an English version, German version, Spanish version, you'd have different stuff here. Then we get to the head of an HTML. This is where certain information is stored. It's not necessarily something that's shown. Now, most parts of an HTML document you have to open like that and then close like that. So when I'm coding, what I like to do is once I open one, I immediately type its close, give it some spaces, and then you work in there. That way you don't have to worry about opening and closing it later. Now, I've never seen this on a test, but just so that you are prepared, what you can include here, and this is one that doesn't need the whole opening closing thing, is meta char set equals UTF-8. And what that does, let's just neaten it up a bit. What that does is it tells the browser, hey, this is the coding language I'm using, just so that it can read it faster. The next one that you also, it's good to include, but I don't remember seeing it on a test, is meta name. So you're telling it, hey browser, look at this thing that I am now naming viewport, and the browsers have standard things to do when they see viewport. And what we want to tell it about viewport is the content in there. Whatever content you find, the width is equal to device width. Sorry, that is my timer to wrap up the video so it doesn't get too long for you. So, device width, initial scale 1.0, and before YouTube gives this trouble again, I'm going to stop there and then start the next one.